actually here at the whiteboard to really talk about a couple of things. You've really highlighted for me the sort of life cycle that sort of an HP typical customer, right? We've been in the gorillas in the testing or monitoring space for decades now. But we're also seeing a change in the consumer base or the customers where they're talking about bring your own device, BYOD. They're talking about access control. And what we're seeing and we're frankly struggling with sometimes is how we tailor our story to those kinds of prospects. So what I want to do here is draw a quick sort of run through of our traditional and then just share with you how we're pivoting and sort of get your feedback and see if that makes sense if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great, Mike.
So let's just take a quick shot. So I sort of see it in sort of four quadrants or four sort of aspects, right? And again, this is the traditional market, right? HP with our experience at Quality Center, Load Runner, Performance Center, monitoring, right? We've been in there a long time, so we have a very deep history there. So we talk about this sort of being the design and build area is sort of step one, right?
Yep.
Right. So in our world, this is going to be sort of HP Anywhere, right? A great product. This is going to be service virtualization, and this is going to be Agile Manager, right? Manager. Right. It's sort of, again, the traditional calling on your testing folks, making sure they're working and designing and building the right sort of platform.
And if I could just add to
Sure.
that, the reason I think that's effective for customers and what we're seeing is that when you're building mobile apps, it's all about speed.
Right.
Right, and so Agile Manager means we can typically do that in an agile fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it might be a very large enterprise, we might be managing ERP systems, and that may be more traditional.
Right.
I can use Agile Manager from a quick iterative process.
Yep.
And also service virtualization. I know you didn't mention that too much, but that's really a way for organizations to get access to those virtual environments that they'll be integrating their apps to,
Absolutely.
and that helps speed the app as well.
Yep.
And then you've got HP Anywhere that has a lot of capabilities you want for an enterprise app, right? Collaboration really helps kind of address some of the things that you were alluding to earlier. So I don't want to steal your thunder around the BYOD.
Yep.
It really helps in that area as well.
Absolutely. The next phase, what we're really seeing sort of in this, just going clockwise here, step two, is really sort of the optimize phase. And what we're here, optimize. See, I can't spell. At a college education, you can't spell. I won't embarrass my university by telling which one. But this is really, again, where you're talking about HP Anywhere. Actually, it's UFT. It's service virtualization again, Load Runner, QC Quality Center. This is again, like we built it, we designed it, now we got to make sure it's working, running at scale, at scope, all of that. That's sort of step two, sort of in the life cycle of a traditional customer.
So what about security? I know security is really
That's
important.
a great question. Fortify. Thank you for bringing that up. I failed to write that down. The whole idea about looking at security during the testing or the optimization phase is critical. And thank you again for bringing that up because it fortifies it as a critical aspect.
One thing I'd also, and maybe it's kind of stepping back, and I overlooked it as well in the design phase and the build phase, HP I know has a new solution called Mobile Run. And what that really is for developers to use that to create that wrapper of their mobile apps. So once you're using it, then I can see the actual performance of those transactions. So that actually might be one you could potentially add to on the design build phase is the over Mobile Run.
There you go. Look at you. I'm not sure how we're putting that acronym together, but we'll just call it that. After the automate phase is now you're going to distribute it, right? Right. You got to get it out there. You got to take it out of dev test, put it in production. And this is obviously going to be HP Anywhere. And I bring up HP Anywhere here for a couple of reasons. Really, one, this is really where, in the traditional world, the first time you're getting BYOD, right, bring your own devices. But more importantly, I bring it up here because in our traditional sales cycle, this is where sometimes we talk about security. And when we talk about security, we sort of go back here to Fortify and talk about the sort of build phase. What we're not realizing is that the word security in this environment is really access control, right? The ability to have access control, the ability to say, hey, Jon Furner just left. I need to go turn off all these mobile applications that we have, right? That is security, but sometimes because we have a product like Fortify that does security so well and has an industry name there and investment in capital there, and then we talk about security here, we need to sort of turn our own minds around to really call this probably access control to be just fair, right? So this is sort of bring your own devices and then access control.
I think you bring up a good point here on the distributed side, because typically, HP customers are focusing on software releases, and so they kind of would take distributed as releases. We're not necessarily talking about releases here,
right.
And that's really, I think, you hit it on the head here, the BYOD, and that's one of the reasons why we like HP Anywhere for an enterprise mobile app is I got one container.
Right.
And I can control that user access
exactly.
with that one container, and it makes it much easier too when you look at a compliance perspective, making sure that's all wiped off of someone's device. I got one container to remove or one access to remove versus 50 or 60 different apps to take off of someone's device.
Exactly right. And then obviously once we're here, right, once we're in production, you can only guess what we have to do is we have to make sure it's monitoring and performing as expected. So we'll just call this, we'll call this monitor and manage. Right? This is in production now. There's users getting it and all of that. And that's obviously, our APM suite, BSM. It's our whole traditional monitoring solution. So again, when we look at this picture, it's in a traditional world, sort of starts here, right? Goes from the build design to the optimize, goes to distribute, and then it goes into production. Now here's the twist. Right? What we're seeing is, like, our customers in my meetings are diverging, right? There are rough and tough 40 to 50% of the meetings that are this, right? I'm a legacy quality system, and I'm going to become a mobile tester, whatever. So this story resonates with them very well. But then there's the times I go out to the business, or they go out and they're hiring other firms, and it's all about mobile. What we need to realize is we need to start in a different spot. What we need to do in those situations is we start here, because it becomes about the bring your own devices, the right ones used everywhere, the ability to have access control, aka security, around what is being done. They then care about, it's almost funny, then they do care about manage and monitor, right? Once it's there, it's out, it's open, help me with that. Then they care about getting back to design and build. And then finally, they're going to be looking at optimize. So our traditional is 1, 2, 3, 4. But when we go to that new cycle and the new discussions that we have, we need to realize, need to twist, and start here. And the reason I like this is because if you want, right, you can just draw a big box around this. And to me, that becomes mobile in a box. That becomes mobile in a box whether you are a legacy customer or legacy contact, or if you're in the new environment talking about mobile application development. So as someone who's building mobile applications, I would put you here, right, at least your mobile teams, or when you look at the other side of your business, maybe they're on the both sides. So you really see both sides of this, which is why I want to come and test this theory with you and see if this makes sense.
It definitely makes sense, and you're right, we definitely cover kind of all the different dimensions here.
Right.
But it makes sense, and I think what it does, it requires more education on how to best position starting here.
Okay.
And I think what it does is they need to understand what mobile device management is, as well as mobile application management. And I think that covers both of these boxes here, more on the mobile application and the management side of things.
Excellent. Well, thank you for double checking that. I will make sure we do some further enablement with the field. I'm glad to see. It's really funny how we have all these, right? None of these are new, right? We've been in this space for a long time. It's about taking it and just twisting it a little, starting somewhere different when we're talking to different customers.
Well, and that's why I'm kind of bullish on HP when it comes to mobile. And why I think it's a great opportunity is depending on who you're talking to in the customer organization, right? You can see here, I mean, I always say 7 different opportunities, but it could be 12 or 15 different opportunities just by having the right information at your fingertips, understanding what HP has to offer, and the different starting points.
Well, for me, all of that is very well said. For me, a lot of our clients have some of this. So for us, it's on HP to educate our clients. They have the technology and frankly the investment. Right? It's on us. Yeah. Right? There's only a couple of spots maybe they have to dot in to complete the picture. Right? They have 50 of the 75 puzzle pieces. Let's add a couple more puzzle pieces together and you're ready to go. That's why someone like ResultsPositive, who has a 9-year track record with HP plus the experience of developing mobile apps, you're in a unique position. And why I flew out here to test this theory with you. So I wanted to thank you for that.
All right, thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate it.
You got it.